Hello and welcome. On Sunday, I had a live talking about how you can understand yourself better looking at your natal chart. So I got quite a few questions and I decided to record the video going through all the placements for the major ones, so you can look at your chart and you can find out what it means for you. So in this video, we're going to talk about Sun and Moon in your natal chart. So they are both important. Sun is your ego, Moon is your soul. So Sun is your relationship with your father, Moon is your relationship with the mother. Sun is what gives you reason to live. Moon is what moves you in life. So it's your soul kind of purpose, I would say, not even soul enjoyment. So let's talk about these two today in every single sign. So Sun is something that we all paid attention to. Like me, my Sun is in Scorpio, so I always thought that I'm a Scorpio when actually I'm a Cancer rising. So I do have a lot of influence on that, but still I think everybody, when you ask them for their sign, they always say their Sun, and it is important. Sun is important, I wouldn't lie. Sun is your core kind of identity. Now Sun in different signs means different, so you will present yourself different, you will appear different, your motives for life will be different in different signs. So let's start with all of them. Also, Sun is a relationship with the father, which is also very important. Especially when you have some unhealed traumas, I always look into Sun in my clients' charts just to see where they might be having issues with the father figure. So now your Sun in Aries, usually you are almost like a child. You love life. You don't need an ulterior motive to live. These are people very risky. People that love attention but don't seek validation, so they do like to be on the spotlight, but not exactly for any particular validation. They're like little kids that love to have attention from everybody, and they focus on themselves. These people are very self-centered, you would say even selfish, but in a good way, in a right way, I would say. Or usually with fathers, these people have a really good relationship. They believe that their fathers did everything for them. So hardly ever there are traumas with people in Sun in Aries. Now the Sun in Taurus is another placement. Sun in Taurus, these people are, I would say, even almost the opposite. So these are people that they enjoy life when there is enjoyment. So they appreciate comfort, they appreciate good food, they appreciate when they look good, they appreciate when they're surrounded by somewhat nice, like luxuries. They love to be almost spoiled, I would say. Taurus ruled by Venus, so these are these people. Now if you have your Sun in Taurus, you probably know yourself. You love when you are comfortable, you live life to enjoy life, and you will demand that enjoyment. So you would look for luxuries, you would look for quality of life somehow. Now relationship with the father, usually these people is good. Could be traumas connected to maybe not given enough, I would say, but for the most part Sun in Taurus has no problems with fathers, does not have much traumas when it comes to the father. So and usually they have fathers that do give them much. They are entitled. These people with Sun in Taurus are entitled since childhood, and usually parents are giving them that entitlement. So that's what it is. Now Sun in Gemini, these people are very unrooted. Their reason for living, basically their ego is in constantly moving around, gathering new information. So they're very social, they're very they're here and there. They are not very when it comes to their appearance, they are not very bright, they are not very memorable as any air sign, but they are very communicative, very social, so people do enjoy them and they enjoy themselves. To live in life, they need to communicate. If you will put them somewhere in a closed space with no people, they will lose the reason to live very fast. Whether the relationship with their father is usually good, but more like on a friendly level. For these people, fathers don't provide grounding, and they grew up with no grounding because they're Sun in Gemini. Now, Sun in Cancer, these people are very homey. They don't exactly always have a connection with the father, or if they do, it's usually the father who is kind of at home, who likes to cook, who likes to take care of the house, somebody like this. So Sun in Cancer usually people who live to care for others, kind of. They see their purpose in caring for. And if you know Sun in Cancer people, you probably know that they always live in this kind of empathy, always feeling indebted to others. So this is Sun in Cancer. Now, these people don't have much ego, and again, they probably grew up with the father who was caring for others, and they want to do the same. So something similar. Now, Sun and Leo people are very bright. Sun and Cancer also tend to gain weight. These people can gain weight easily, and usually it's a lumpy weight. So they basically create security that was not provided for them. Sun and Leo is people that are on the spotlight. Whether they want it or not, they are on the spotlight. Usually these people are not looking for the spotlight. They're already in it. So they're usually very confident. They're usually very self-assured. People love them for that. So some of them, they usually dress very nice. So they look after themselves. They're very particular about their appearance. They do love themselves so much not to look good. And this is Sun and Leo. Usually with the father, the relationship with father is built on some kind of like maybe even competing with the father. Father was competing with them, so they always were competing for some kind of validation. Now, Sun in Virgo is people that are focused on connecting to others through almost pretending to be good. So these are people that are really very practical, very to the point. They're almost like too much structure, too much discipline, I would say, but they do all that to be kind of to connect to others. Now, they also these people are I would say they're very diplomatic when it comes to any kind of communication. They are really well dressed usually. They present themselves well, and not in a way that Leo would. These people would present themselves. They look as they look like more old money kind of type. So they wouldn't wear some kind of fashionable clothes. They would wear like a simpler kind of but expensive clothes. So this is Sun in Virgo. If you have Sun in Virgo, you probably a person like this, and your relationship with father was basically on mutual practicality. So your father was maybe somewhat practical and engraved that in you. Now, Sun in Libra, if you have Sun in Libra, you're probably very optimistic, unattachable. You're very communicative, but not communicative in the way Geminis are. You may be communicative, even flirty a little bit with everybody. So you connect with people on a heart level. And usually these people have amazing relationship with their father, like with everybody else. So the father figure is not very grounding in their life, but definitely optimistic. So maybe it was a father who was not really much in your life, but when he was appearing with presents. Maybe you used to go and eat ice cream together, something like that. So it was not a heavy father figure. It was a father figure that was light. Now, if you have Sun in Scorpio, like I do, your desire to live is basically exploring deeper, looking for deeper meanings. Your relationship with father is probably somewhat mysterious and maybe a little careful. Like with me, I loved my father very much, and obviously he loved me. I'm his first child, but I always was a little, like, maybe not even scared, but I was a little always mystified by my father. Like, I was like, there was some kind of gap between us, and I always wanted to explore, I wanted to get deeper. So my father was a mystery to me, even though he was a very open person. So but this is what, because of my son, my father figure is like that. The same with my brother. His son is in Scorpio, and he has the same kind of feeling towards our father. Now that's Sun in Scorpio. So Sun and Scorpio are mysterious people. You can see, you know, from them, you can feel that mystery from far away. Like, everybody always tells me that I'm mysterious, and I'm not sure why, honestly. Because I think I'm an open book, but apparently I come off as that. So this is Sun in Scorpio. Sun in Sagittarius are very, if you have Sun in Sagittarius, these are people that love freedom very much. They are very optimistic. They are ruled by Jupiter, so they're lucky by birth. Their purpose in life is basically to explore as much as they can in every field and everything possible. These people are very, they like to try new things. They're really very, you know, optimistic and open to anything. Now, the relationship with the father is usually like that. It's usually the father who is who taught them to be curious, who was pushing them to try new sports and stuff like that. So, but the father who was definitely strong and optimistic. Now, if you have Sun in Capricorn, you're very strong, confident, and you like to control everything. So your goal in life is basically create this system that you can control everything and everybody. And your father probably was very strict and very controlling, but yet rewarding. So you grew up like this. Tell me if I'm wrong. Now, if you have Sun in Aquarius, then you are very, you have a very unusual mind. So you live in this world not to explore the world, but to explore outside of this world. So you are all about something unusual thinking, unusual ideas. Probably your father was also out of this world, you know. So maybe he was, maybe you grew up in a family that was thinking differently, that was like, for example, I knew somebody, a friend of mine, and her father, no, she has Sun in Aquarius. So her parents, I'm not going to get too much into because I don't want to share their privacy, but their idea of upbringing was absolutely opposite to what it is in our society. So she grew up brought up absolutely different, and she couldn't understand why others were brought up like this. So you see, it was her father's idea, and her mom was just basically on the same page. So like this, usually these people have fathers who are maybe like really forward thinkers or something, and they usually themselves are like that. Now, if you have Sun in Pisces, then you are a person who likes everything mysterious, who are on the quieter side, more like exploring the soul than exploring your inner. Likes to listen to people, likes to listen to themselves, and these people usually have the relationship with the father almost, I wouldn't say non-existent, but it's almost something like I wouldn't say either a mystery, but something deep, something like a connection that is not there. So it's somewhat like relationship with the father is something far away, and you just need to be slowly grown into that. So that's how it is. I met quite a few people with Sun in Pisces, and those people usually either didn't have the father at all, or the father passed away early, or father was not even present much, even when he was in the family. Like my sister, for example, when our father passed away very early, she was almost like 5 or 4 years old, so she never truly knew her father, and that's her relationship with the father is. So this is the sun, your sun placement. Sun is important placement. Why? Because this is your desire to live. This is your core personality. Your ascendant is how you appear to people, but sun is what you truly are. Like my ascendant is Cancer, so I appear to people as this sweet, kind of caring, vulnerable person, but my sun is in Scorpio, meaning that I am very, very strong and very deep. This is what you are. So this is the sun. Now let's talk about the moon. The moon is your relationship with the mother and your soul. This is what you seek, you know. This is not what you live by, but what you crave, what maybe sometimes you are not brave enough to ask for, but what you really, really would love. Like if you have Leo, moon in Leo, you crave validation. So every time somebody tells you, good job, I really love how you did this, your whole inner world would just bloom with pride, you see. Or if you have a moon in Pisces, you are vulnerable, you're soft. So when somebody, you like to be left alone with your thoughts, with your ideas. So when you are alone, your soul blooms. You enjoy this time. So let's go through all of them. Moon in Aries are usually people just like Sun in Aries. They focus on themselves. They don't really care much about others. Sometimes they come off as insensitive, and they don't really want anybody else to care for them either. They are very independent people in their soul. They don't get upset. If they get upset, they will tell you about this, so you can speak to them frankly. You can express yourself frankly. They would never get upset. Whatever they don't like, they will tell you, just like a child would. They would never think twice about what you feel or how you feel. These are people who almost want to be independent, almost want to be given the chance to be independent. Now, people with moon in Taurus, these are people that love comfort, that crave that comfort, that crave the like almost luxuries. If you have somebody, if you have moon in Taurus and somebody is inviting you to go have breakfast, if it would be a nice kind of setting with the delicious food, you would enjoy it. Your moon would sing just because you're there. Now, if you will come to some place that's not as aesthetically pleasing and has a miserable food, you probably will be absolutely devastated, and you wouldn't even know why, because you came here for the beautiful setting and beautiful food, and you don't even care really who the company is, because your soul craves this kind of this beauty that comes with something physical. So this is what your soul wants. And the relationship with the mother for the Aries is Aries moon. A relationship with the mother usually more like a friend kind of. The mom is a strong, independent kind of friend. Moon in Taurus, relationship with mom is really focused on the house, focused on what to eat. So it's not spiritual, it's all very physical, very material here and now. So usually they have moms that love to cook, that love to create something beautiful, that have flowers all over. Now, moon in Gemini, these people crave as much connection as they can get in their life. So they usually they crave the exploration, but not exploration of the world, but the exploration of the people around them. So they need to, if somebody will come and start talk to them, their soul will sing. You see, they really don't care whether they're having breakfast, with who they're having breakfast, where they're having breakfast, what kind of breakfast. As long as they are communicating and talking to people, that's all they really want. They want this lightness, optimism, communication, anything to talk, gossiping, they love. This is a dark kind of Gemini. So the relationship with mother usually like this. They usually talk with their mom for I would say they connect on the communicating, talking, discussing. Now, moon in Cancer wants wants to be left alone in peace in their in their comfortable home under the blanket. So sleeping on the couch, wrapped up in a throw in the rain, this is the perfect kind of what they want. So they crave this. They also crave cuddling. This is what they do. They love simple pleasures, but simple pleasures when it comes to emotions. Taurus, Moon in Taurus craves simple pleasures when it comes to food, to kind of something physical. Cancers, Moon in Cancer craves physical, emotional pleasure. Somebody to hug, somebody to cuddle, somebody. This is people who have cats, and just to have somebody around them. Now, Moon in Cancer, these are usually, they have a very strong relationship with mom, emotional. They usually could not live without their mom. They need their mom in their life almost all the time, so at least on some kind of level. So the relationship with the mom is usually very strong, the bond is strong. Now, Moon in Leo, these people, as I already mentioned, they crave validation. They might never ask for it, but if you want to impress your friends that have Moon in Leo, tell them occasionally, give them compliments, tell them something sweet, and you will see how they will flourish. They need to hear it again and again and again. They will never get tired of it. And usually the relationship with the mom is that's what it is. They always want to have a mom. They wanted, or maybe they had a mom that would validate and they would tell them, oh my God, good job, you're doing everything so great. So their sole purpose is to impress their mother. So now Moon in Virgo is very so what they crave, what they want is to have this order in everything, to have people almost like listening to them all the time. So they usually, they don't want to be understood, they want to be like almost obeyed, so to say. And so the relationship with the mom is like this too. They almost treat their parents, their mom, like their child. So they try to be this. If you watch this movie Uptown Girls, that little girl was, I'm sure, was Moon in Virgo. So she felt like she is super organized, and her mom is not even close to that, and she felt like a grown-up. So these are people that become grown up very early for no reason, honestly. So this is Moon in Virgo. Moon in Libra, people that crave lightness, optimism, flirtations, love all around them. So they want to be, they don't want nothing heavy, they don't want no drama, they don't want to hear nothing bad, they don't watch the news, they just want to imagine that they live in the pink world with the unicorns, and they enjoy that. So this is Moon in Libra, and usually the relationship with their moms are very good, usually their favorite children, because they're like this, because they're light and optimistic, and parents usually love them. So they grew up being loved, and so that's how they live through the life. They want to be loved, and they are loved. Now, Moon in Scorpion is looking usually for depths, for some kind of depths, for some kind of mysticism, for even some kind of darkness. So these people could be somewhat a little bit dramatic. That gives them purpose in life, so to say. So if you have Moon in Scorpio, you probably know what I'm talking about. When everything is good and quiet, you get like even a little bit bored. And relationship with the mother usually not as it's deep, but it's rocky all the time. There's some kind of movement. So you grow up knowing that if everything is quiet and good, then something is brewing, and this is your life. So Moon in Sagittarius, people are craving freedom, and usually these people have a lot of connections, a lot of people around them, but in the deep inside, they want to be free. They want people to support their kind of ideas. They want to maybe travel a lot, they want to move around a lot, they want to change partners. That's what they crave. They get bored very easily. So relationship with the mom is usually like this. Usually these are people who had moms that were not very stable, or not always present, or not emotional at all. So now Moon in Capricorn are people that crave this inner kind of control, inner stability, inner like they need to to be able to control everything, or at least know what's going on at every time. So any kind of chaos will not do for them. And usually they had very strict mothers, very like moms that had everything organized, everything to the point, and obviously moms that had high expectations. Now, if you have moon in Aquarius, you crave something unknown, something unusual. So you would do things that, like, on the opposite, just to try to do them. Like if everybody sits with the lights on, you would sit in the darkness just to be different. So this is what you crave. You crave this kind of to be different than others. And the relationship with the mother, usually these moms are usually also somewhat distant. I wouldn't even say distant, I would say they're almost non-existent. So, or they are focused on their lives too much. So or they could be moms that are like friends, but completely different type of friend. Like I knew somebody with moon in Aquarius, and his mom had him very early. So they grew up almost him being her parent instead of her being his parent. So it's very strange kind of dynamic in that relationship, but this is what it is. So moon in Pisces is the most sensitive one. These are people that could be offended easily. They're vulnerable, so watch out what you tell them, how you speak to them. They usually feel others very much, so they will know how you feel before you even speak about that. Appreciate them in your life. If they are, obviously, they're usually on the quieter side. They crave being left alone, being kind of appreciated from afar. And usually with the mom, they have a relationship like this. The relationship with the mom is usually very vulnerable, emotionally almost unstable. So this is the moon. Now, what else, when it comes to the sun and moon, this is what I also would look. Where sun and moon are located on your chart. So in what houses, and in how are they towards each other. So if a moon and sun are in opposition, so for example, moon in Scorpio, sun in Taurus, that means that your mother and father were not in the best relationship when they had you. That means that your soul and your ego will always be fighting. You will never be in unison with yourself. This is something you would need to work on. Now, if your sun and moon are in the same sign, so for example, both of them in Scorpio, conjunct, so within like 3 degrees from each other, this is a very good placement. That means that you are on the same page, your inside and outside are on the same page. That means that you will always put yourself as a priority. You will always be focusing on yourself first. This is amazing placement. Now, if your sun and moon is trining each other, this is also a good placement. So if it's square, then not a very good placement. But the worst one is probably the opposition. I didn't see it often, only saw it a few times in my life. So, but this is something to look out for. Now, what else should mention? Look where your sun and moon in the houses. For example, if your sun is in the first house, so your sun is basically what your purpose in life is, like not your higher purpose like your North Node is, but what you mostly will dominantly focus on. So for example, my sun is in the 5th house. I dominantly focus on how to create life that I would enjoy. Why? Because the 5th house is the house of pleasure, enjoyment, flirtations, children, creation. So my whole life, I'm creating security for myself so I can enjoy my life. Now, my brother's sun is in the 4th house. 4th house is the house of family, and I will tell you with no doubt, my brother's whole life is on creating family. He always dreamt about having a family and kids, and he was married, he got divorced. He keeps on he puts so much pressure into this because he wants to have that family. That's what his sun is looking for. So if your sun is, and the moon is what you can give others. So like depending on the house. So like my moon is in the 9th house, I can really teach people some soul searching, and that's what I do. I teach people how to heal their traumas, basically. So, but if your sun is in the 1st house, then you will be focusing on self, so on bettering yourself, bettering your experience. If your sun is in the second house, then your goal will be to make money, to increase your personal resources. That's your like obsession will be. If it's in the third house, and it's closest connection, so you will be focusing on maybe getting like best friends, or I don't know, getting closer to your friends. On the fourth house, it's your family, so you're focusing on family, obsession with family. On the fifth house, obsession with pleasure, creation. Sixth house, obsession with your personal health, with your routine. The seventh house, probably that's where the sun is, right? The sun in the seventh house is you crazy about the relationship, you want to have the relationship, like it would be your obsession. The sun in the eighth house is transformation, birth, kind of rebirth. You will be maybe trying to transform yourself somehow. In the ninth house, you will constantly try to travel, learn something new. In the 10th house, it's the house of your career, so you will be like a workaholic, focusing on your career all the time. The sun in the 11th house is basically your social standing, so maybe you will try to become a governor or a mayor, or maybe just be on board in your apartment complex. In your 12th house is basically at the depths of you, so you will be transforming yourself, but transforming yourself like really not like in the 8th house, but transforming the inside of you, like a really deep transformation. Now, if your moon is in these houses, so if your moon is in the first house, then you will be, your soul will want to kind of, so whatever it is that you would want will correspond to this house. Like, for example, my moon is in Pisces in the 9th house. So Pisces is deep transformation of the soul in the 9th house. So I'm teaching, and 9th house is education, traveling. So I'm traveling myself and exploring my soul, and I'm teaching others how to explore their soul, you see. So if I would have my moon in Pisces in the first house, it would be deep, maybe some kind of inner transformation of myself, or maybe so the moon in the first house is basically about the self, the second house about the resources, the third one, so again it goes like this. So I would look into that. I would look where your moon is, in which house, and what your soul is trying to develop. Again, as I just said, first house is self, second is resources, money, third is close connections, fourth is family, immediate family, parents also, fifth is pleasure, creation, sixth is routine and health, seventh is relationship, eighth is transformation, some kind of rebirth, you know, ninth is traveling, education, 10th is career, 11th is social standing, and 12th is transformation that comes from the inside. And so this is it for the moon and sun. I hope it was helpful. Let me know if you have questions. The next one I will do Mars and Venus. Bye everybody, enjoy your day.